It's Black Friday, the biggest shopping day of the year, and while many people are lining up outside big box stores or scrolling through doorbuster deals online, we're taking a different approach. Today, I want to explore how we can reclaim the spirit of the season by supporting handmade goods, building meaningful holiday traditions, and stepping away from the frenzy of Black Friday consumerism. So if you're listening to this while considering a purchase, or if you're simply looking for a slower, more thoughtful way to approach the holidays, I invite you to join me in this conversation. Let's dive into the beauty of handmade, the power of simplicity, and ways we can make this season truly special. First, let's talk about today, Black Friday. For decades, Black Friday has been marketed as the ultimate shopping day, with sales and deals that make us feel like we're missing out if we don't buy something. There's this rush, a high, that comes from snagging a deal. And it's so easy to get caught up in the frenzy of saving money by spending on things we often don't need. And if we're honest, sometimes we don't even want. But have you ever noticed that right after Black Friday comes Shop Small Saturday? It's a day meant to celebrate small businesses, artisans, and local shops. But here's the catch. By the time Saturday rolls around, so many people have already spent a huge chunk of their budget on Black Friday sales. The timing isn't accidental. It's as if the big corporations know that most of our funds will be depleted by Saturday, leaving less for the local artisans and small businesses that truly make a difference in our communities. So this year, let's flip the script. Instead of emptying our wallets on Black Friday, let's save some of that energy and those funds for gifts that support real people and local businesses. Let's consider the beauty and value of handmade goods and how we can make this season more meaningful. This brings me to one of my favorite ways to celebrate the Christmas season, giving handmade gifts. When you choose handmade items, you're supporting someone's artistry and the time and care that went into each piece. It's a way to give something unique and personal rather than something mass-produced. And for those of us who love to create, I encourage you, consider the possibility of trading gifts with other makers. If you enjoy sewing, perhaps a friend of yours is skilled in knitting or pottery. Exchanging handmade goods with fellow artisans can not only diversify your gifting options, but can also deepen your connection with other creators. You can use resources like social media, Etsy, find people who have shops, and ask if they're willing to trade. It doesn't just have to be friends. You can find strangers too. I've done plenty of these. There's also a unique magic in exchanging gifts that both of you have poured your hearts into. Remember, gifts don't have to be expensive to be meaningful. And if there's anything I've learned over the years, time is a more valuable currency. A handmade scarf, a jar of homemade jam from your local produce or even from your own tree, or a beautiful hand-poured candle carries so much more sentiment than any doorbuster deal. As we explore handmade gifts, let's also talk about the scaling back of our gift expectations. A century ago, gift giving was so rare and it was a thoughtful gesture, not a day-long extravaganza. In the late 1800s, children were thrilled to receive a single well-chosen gift, often something handmade or something practical, like a scarf, a new bonnet, a pair of shoes, or a wooden toy. Sometimes even a fresh orange was considered a special treat, a small luxury that carried real meaning. But as the years have passed, the holiday season has become more commercialized. Companies have begun marketing Christmas as a time to buy more, spend more, give more. The emphasis shifted from the joy of a single meaningful gift to the thrill of quantity and consumption. And so the holiday gift pile grew, and with it, the pressure on our wallets and our expectations. Let's remember that gifts can be simple and still be special. We don't need to fill every inch under the tree. This season, maybe we can return back to the mindset of quality over quantity, of giving thoughtfully rather than excessively. Beyond the gifts themselves, there are so many ways to make the Christmas holiday season more meaningful that don't involve material things. Here are some traditions you might want to consider. Set aside an evening each week to share stories by candlelight. This could be reading classic stories or sharing family memories. The warm glow of a candle creates an intimate atmosphere, perfect for a quiet, heartfelt moment. If a candle seems too unrealistic of a stretch, consider using a camping lantern. Take a walk in nature. Collect pine cones, evergreen branches, or any other little treasures that catch your eye. Then spend an afternoon turning those items into handmade ornaments or a wreath. It's a chance to connect with nature and to create something beautiful. Consider starting a family gratitude time. Everyone can share one thing that they're grateful for each day leading up to Christmas. And if you live alone, you can practice gratitude by writing things down. Keep it in a journal. Focusing on gratitude can shift the Christmas experience from one of getting to one of appreciation. Volunteer to make handmade gifts to donate, whether it's baking bread for a neighbor, quilting, if you're fast at quilting, I am not, or crafting items for those in need. I'm thinking whole cloth quilts, scarves, arm warmers, leg warmers. Giving back is a powerful way to embody the Christmas spirit. These traditions bring us together as a family and as a community without the need of excessive gifts or sugar-filled treats, and they focus on connection, appreciation, and the simple joys. If you're not crafting your own gifts, there are so many ways to support artisans and find authentic handmade goods. Local farmers markets, craft fairs, and small shops often feature unique one-of-a-kind items made by skilled artisans in your community. You can also look for creators on social media and see if you can support them directly and help them to avoid the excessive fees that are implemented on platforms like Etsy. Just remember, not everything labeled handmade is truly artisanal. Be mindful of where your money goes, and whenever possible, buy directly from the artist or a trusted local business to ensure that your purchase genuinely supports a craftsman. Now, I want to take a moment and go back to the topic of candles. Definitely an autumn and winter favorite. There's nothing cozier than lighting a candle on a winter evening or early morning, but unfortunately, so many commercial candles are filled with toxic ingredients. When I stroll the stores and look for candles, it's nearly impossible to find something that is not artificially fragranced. Paraffin wax, commonly used in candles, comes from petroleum. It can release harmful chemicals when burned, and some candles still use lead core wicks, which are hazardous to our health. Even candles that claim to be scented with essential oils may still contain synthetic fragrances. Labels can be misleading, and it's important to know what you're bringing into your home. Fragrance is an unregulated term, and there is no transparency on the chemicals used or their potential negative effects. For a safe and natural option, look for candles made from pure beeswax, which has a naturally subtle honey scent. Soy wax is a second good choice. Ensure that the wicks are cotton and that the scent is from pure essential oils, not synthetic chemicals. Or if you'd like to skip the candles altogether, essential oil diffusers can create a wonderful non-toxic aroma in your home. Again, be sure that your essential oils are actually essential oils and not just fragrance oil. Choose organic when possible. An organic certification will help to ensure quality and purity. As we wrap up here, I just want to leave you with one standout message. This does not have to be a season of excess. Excess in spending, excess in eating, excess in expectations. My challenge is to make this vow, perhaps for the first time or perhaps for the 20th. Let's make this a season in which peace, gratitude, and love reign. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope that today's episode has given you some inspiration to slow down, simplify, and bring more thoughtfulness into your Christmas season. Let's support handmade gifts, embrace traditions that focus on connection, and choose gifts that are truly meaningful. And before you go, I'd like to remind you about my quick guide to eco-friendly fabrics. It's a free resource to help you make more sustainable fabric choices, and you can download it through the link in the show notes. I'm wishing you all a beautiful, mindful, and truly meaningful Christmas season. Until next time, take care and enjoy every simple moment.